I'm Amanda Decker. I work here at the Mayor of London's office on the culture team, and I'm a culture strategy coordinator and special projects officer. Right, so the Mayor's role is to work strategically across the 32 London boroughs, to work strategically with key stakeholders and organisations to deliver his cultural strategy. So we will rely on our partners in terms of delivering kind of investment programs for the creative industries, in terms of delivering programs to increase access and programs for education skills. We'll work in partnership with pre-existing organisations across London, so we're not duplicating or intervening in places we shouldn't be where there's actually already provision. It's about helping that provision scale up. Our gigs programme, which is the Mayor's Big Busk. So London has a rich history of busking, which is playing instruments out in the open in public spaces, and a massive we have a lot of people who do this on the underground, and you'll see the kind of on the floor these half circles where busking is allowed to take place. So it's actually absolutely welcomed by local and city government to have musicians playing in particular places on the underground. But what we wanted to do was find a way to work in partnership with Transport for London, with London Underground, with Network Rail, to support young people in taking up busking opportunities, which helps us achieve our goals in terms of education, skills and careers, giving young people an opportunity to perform, giving young people an opportunity to cut their teeth at kind of managing themselves and playing in front of random people and people who are rushing by and commuters and so on and so forth. So we developed the Gigs Big Busk programme in partnership with all of those people, and basically what it is we invite young people to submit and audition a song, and then we select about 200 people, 200 groups that then we coordinate across a 2-week period across a range of venues in London, from outside St Paul's Cathedral to the Olympic Park to the O2 Arena, and then spots across London Underground and Network Rail, which would be your kind of overground, King's Cross Station, Waterloo, Victoria, and we coordinate. They go and they play, and we have a website then that people passing by can vote for their favourite busker, and then at the very end the top finalists will go and play in front of a panel of industry professionals from Sony Music to PRS to the Royal College of Music, and they'll play at Westfields, which is a massive shopping mall out, and there's one in Stratford near the Olympic Park, there's one in the west of London. So they'll go to one of those, they'll play for a day, and then one of them will be crowned Gigs winner, and they win a series of prizes. One will get to go on the Eurostar to Paris to busk, the other will get loads of opportunities to go and have an album recorded or so on and so forth. So the funding for that is actually quite small, so what we're able to deliver through partnerships is exceedingly significant. When they changed the immigration system here, a lot of our international festivals which feature international artists said, whoa, I've actually had to cancel programs this year because the visas haven't worked out, because there's a whole new set of criteria, because there isn't something fit for purpose for our artists. And then we take that and we work with central government and say, okay, but hold on, this is all great, what you're doing there, but actually we need a route that works for short-term artists, so for people coming here on a short-term basis to be paid to participate in an exhibition or a dance show or a festival, and then through that partnership kind of working, but directly based on the feedback from the sector, we got the paid permitted engagement route, which allows artists to come on a short-term basis without having to meet all the criteria and demands of a longer-term visa.
Yeah.
So it's kind of that. So it's the partnership in the opposite. It's people coming to us and saying, "Here's what's." We need to unblock it. It's more about increasing the ability for international artists to come to the UK, whether that's on a production or whether that's on as a designer who wants to come and work here for a while. It's the wide range that's more on our policy side, and we're working with the various government bodies, but we are delivering a tourism vision document, which is about increasing London's identity overseas. And whilst we love the West End and we'd never get rid of it, we do want to shout a bit more widely
a bit more about the broader London cultural story, so the kind of more smaller theatres and the things that are going on, kind of smaller exhibition, the organisations that scale-wise don't have the loudest voice. We want to help give them a voice so that when people come to London, because the shape of a tourist is changing as well, they no longer want to come just for the West End and for the open bus stop tour. They want kind of an authentic experience. So we're kind of doing a lot of work with key partners from Visit Britain, Visit England, London and Partners, which is the GLA functional body, and they're responsible for the promotion of London overseas. But we're doing a particular culture kind of tourism vision. So through the lens of culture, of talking about London's culture in a really kind of modern way, so that it's not just about Buckingham Palace and it's not just about the London dungeons, but actually there's kind of all of the amazing festivals we have. We have the Jazz Festival, all of our kind of industries festivals. So it's about working with those key organisations to get all that content together so that we can promote it overseas. Obviously, then I take that away and I look at the immigration implications for that. Are our tourist visas fit for purpose? Are we able to bring international artists like from the States or from South America to come and perform at our festivals? That's all interrelated. So the example here is, we have our own strategic priorities, and then the Arts Council, which is the major funder of arts and culture in England and London, they have their priorities and objectives, and we consult our strategy with them to ensure that there's some match-up. Not always, we have our own objectives for London. It needs to first and foremost fit for Londoners, but essentially we then take a step back and we deliver on our objectives through our programmes like Big Dance with organisations that are often funded by Arts Council who have similar criteria to meet in order to draw down that funding. So it's a really symbiotic relationship, because they're helping us deliver on our strategic priorities and we're helping them deliver on their criteria for their funding. In a nutshell, it's a slightly kind of simplistic way of looking at it, because actually the real ambition is to deliver an amazing cultural offer for London.